Good morning, my professor. My name is Onyekwe. I am presenting this morning an innovation project video proposal, use of Breathe to Relax app in the treatment of depression. Depression is a mood disorder that causes persistent feeling of sadness and loss of interest. It can lead to a variety of emotional and physical problems and can lead to a feeling of worthlessness. It is the world's largest health problem, accounting for the highest number of disabilities. More prevalence in females than males, and median age of onset is 32 years, though it can start at any age. Let's take a look at depression by the numbers. Median age at diagnosis is 32. 35% do not receive treatment. That means 35% of people with depression go undiagnosed. 17.7 million Americans suffer depression annually. Imagine that. There is a 50% chance of having a reoccurrence once you have depression. It is the leading cause of disability in the US. Since depressive disorders are of such high socioeconomic relevance, it becomes essential that relevant remedy be introduced to curb this menace. What problem will the innovation project solve? Major depressive disorders is believed to rank highest as a cause of disability in the US among the age group of 15 to 44. Depression affects 17.7 million adults, which is about 7.1% of adult population each year in the US. 90% of victims of suicide have been diagnosed of depression at the time of suicide. 70% of deaths from suicide are as a result of untreated depression. If this app or if this innovation project is introduced, the high rate of suicide will reduce. There will be decrease in frequency of hospitalizations and ED visits. Average cost of inpatient hospital stay in state and local government community hospitals in the US was estimated to be $2,260. There will be increased productivity per employee. Average small business generates about $100,000 per employee per annum. This will generally increase the per capita income. For the background of the problem, depression ranks the sixth most expensive health condition with a total expenditure of $71 billion in the US as at 2013. The incremental burden of depression in the US increased by 21.5% between 2005 and 2010, from $179 billion to $210 billion. It has been discovered that a great majority of suicide take place among people with episodes of severe depression. And 90% of these victims have been diagnosed of depression as at time of suicide. Treatment of depression in healthcare delivery is often by the use of antidepressants. But the problem is that many issues still remain unresolved. There is incidence of relapse, leading to more hospitalizations. The problem of latency with medications like the tricyclic antidepressants and the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors continues to occur. Many do not respond to conventional antidepressants. Since depressive disorders are of the high socioeconomic relevance, it's important that non-pharmacological treatments that are evidence-based are needed to support the pharmacological treatment of depression. And this gave rise to introduction of such non-pharmacological interventions like exercise and deep breathing. It is in an attempt to enhance what is already on ground that the mobile app of the deep breathing exercise was introduced. In the process of this project, I collaborated with a mental health practitioner in the course of this project. This is because his perspective as a healthcare provider is essential in the crafting of new policies that affect the clinical working environment and patient care. His advice was to be cautious so that users will not replace doctors' visits with the innovation. But this was not a problem. The aim of the project is to reduce drastically the frequency of hospitalizations resulting from depression. I also collaborated with a patient who had depression, who has been a patient with depression for many years and is an intended end user. Experience has shown that greater patient engagement in healthcare leads to improved health outcomes. He worried about cost increase, but that was not a problem since the app is a free one. He further advised about confidentiality so that patients' health records are safe. Finally, I collaborated with an IT officer because of his analytical and technical skills. He advised that the app should not have a direct link to patients' medical record to avoid illegal invasion. This will be taken into consideration in the course of the project. This intersectional collaboration gave legitimacy to the open-ended process of negotiating a partnership with relevant sectors. This will help reduce opposition from any group whose goal may conflict with public interests. Breathe to Relax app was chosen to solve the problem of depression. Breathe to Relax app is a simple, intuitive, and attractive mobile app designed by the National Center for Telehealth and Technology to teach breathing techniques to manage stress. Before beginning, the app will give you an opportunity to use a tracker to rate how you are currently feeling. You will be asked again to repeat this tracking at the end of the breathing exercise. In order to capture the heart rate, you will need to have an app on your Apple Watch installed and opened. You will be guided through a deep breathing exercise. The app gives you some instructions. It tells you to go back to breathing normally if you experience any unpleasant sensation or have difficulty breathing or feeling dizzy, nervous, or out of control. Because the purpose of the app is to help you learn how to slow down and relax, you can shorten or lengthen the time of each breath to make it more comfortable for you. This means the app can be personalized. Isn't that interesting? There is a button to press, and the user is guided through 16 cycles of deep breathing, deep into the abdomen and breathing out, having a natural pause between each cycle. Each cycle lasts about 7.6 seconds. After completing the exercise, the tracker is used to rate the stress level again and compared with what it was before the breathing exercises. This application offers detailed instructions for hands-on diaphragmatic breathing, otherwise called belly breathing exercise. The breathing exercises help to activate the body's natural relaxation response, which is a physical state of deep rest that changes the physical and emotional responses to stress, anxiety, and depression. It not only decreases the body's stress response, but it helps in mood stabilization, anger, and anxiety management. It can be used alone or used in conjunction with receiving clinical care from a healthcare professional. Why is the proposed solution innovative? Yes, it is innovative because it is free. The Breathe to Relax app can be downloaded from the iTunes stores for Apple devices or from Google Play for Android devices at no charge, with no hidden fees to create or update any account. Again, it offers better services. It provides detailed information on effects of stress on the body and instructions and practice exercises to help users learn the stress management skill that will relieve depressive symptoms and keep them away from the ER. Also, there's empowerment of users. Users are empowered to take control of their health. It is known from clinical experience that greater patient engagement in healthcare leads to improved health outcomes. Then there is no side effect. Breathe to Relax app is just a structured diaphragmatic breathing exercise to help relieve stress. It has no side effects like pharmacological interventions in the treatment of depression. So there is no fear of drug interactions. Isn't that great? Then compatibility. Compatibility refers to the harmony of relationship that the innovation has with the potential users. Breathe Relax app is agreeable with most lifestyles. It does not require a huge lifestyle modification. Hence, users are able to smoothly adopt them. And complexity versus simplicity. This implies how difficult it is for an adopter to learn and use the innovation. Since complexity slows down progress, design team designed this app bearing simplicity in mind. Usability issues, if any, will be addressed through videos and tooltips. Then durability. The application is aimed to never expire or require major updates or changes. Once the device you're using is dependent, the durability of the app is assured. So Breathe to Relax application is designed to be user-friendly and provides step-by-step instructions for setup and use. This is the end of my presentation. Here are my references. Thank you for listening.